So today I want to talk about when you are working for yourself. I asked this question before about how you schedule days off. So, update thus far, this is what I'm doing. There's no scheduled days off right now. That's why I'm discussing this. But right now, I create a schedule in which I work 20 hours a week on one thing and the rest of the other time on something else. And each time, so that 20 hours I split into 4 days of the week, and then the 3 days left over are for the something else. I consider all of it work. So 7 days of work, and each day I would do like 5 hours, and then my time off is typically sometime like after dinner. And it's been working good. Like, at least now I have like a schedule, something to work with in regards to discipline. And it can also be flexible because I could, choose to shift it from 1 hour to, a little later or a little earlier as I need. Also, every morning I also do a live stream of Tai Chi and movement exploration. So I do that also every day, including all those things. I guess my issue is when I used to work full time, I would have 2 days off, and my first day off is typically my recharge day where I literally like either sleep in or like do nothing productive that day. And then the next day off is where I actually do stuff. Um, with the schedule I have now, even though it can be flexible, and I could choose not to work that day and take a day off or whatever. I don't love just leaving it up in the air like that necessarily, because I'm afraid that I might take advantage of it, or I might not have enough discipline yet to kind of, make sure I'm working the hours that I intend to. Like the 20 hours per week thing is something that I really feel like I'm really trying to stick to. The other 3 days where I'm supposed to do 5 hours for something else each day is a little bit more flexible. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Um, but I want to try to keep as much of a regular schedule and discipline as much as possible. So it would be nice to be able to schedule a specific day. So maybe what I will do is instead of do 4 days for the 20 hours, which is 5 hours per day, maybe I make it three. So then it's even with the other 3 days in which I work on the other thing. Um, so that would mean each day I would work maybe something like 7, 7, 6. 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 7 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours for the other thing. Maybe that's what I would do, and I would just pick a day in which I do that. The one thing I notice about working for myself doing these 20 hours, I really just want to work 3 hours per day. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, many exceptions in which I just get in the zone, I can work and I'll work more than I'm supposed to, and that's great and that's fine. But as far as scheduling, and sometimes I only want to work 3 hours, and so that's why I kind of ended up spreading out. But even spreading out 3 hours, just 3 hours in a week for 20, that would mean, well, I don't know, I suck at math, but the whole point is that then I will also need to schedule time for the other thing. So then on the same day, maybe I do 3 hours of each, and I found that I had difficulty doing that. Like I only could do one 3 hour thing per day, or one 5 hour thing per day sometimes, or that I just wanted to do that just to make it more compact. I don't know. I thought it would be better to split it and do both of those things on the same day. These two things I would want to do, but it hasn't really worked out that way. Sometimes it does, but as far as scheduling it, it hasn't really, I don't think. So I'm curious what anyone else might do on their when they work for themselves, how they would deal with that. But I think I might try the other thing where I choose a specific day in which I have nothing to do in the morning. So then that would mean one day I wouldn't even do my Tai Chi, possibly. If I chose, if I decide I didn't want to. Now I've also started going to a spiritual practice as well, and I was gonna say I could count that day as my day off, but then that is also in a commitment that is early in the morning, so maybe not. Typically, when I did work full time, my days off were Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so maybe I'll make it a Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have to think about that, and then I'll tell you how it goes. Maybe I'll start that. I'll make that schedule right now and start it this week, so then I can give you an update whenever I make another video.